you guys have a VK56 motor and you have an engine noise that sounds like this, almost sounds like it's a belt or a pulley that's gone bad, but in reality, it's your oil filter. If you check the forums, you'll see that this is a common problem when you put a aftermarket oil filter on the VK56 motor. Today, we got a Nissan oil filter that I purchased from the dealership for $6. Comes with a crush washer as well. And then we got some 5W30 full synthetic oil. Here is the part number on the oil filter. As you can see, we got an OEM crush washer as well. One thing I noticed that's different on this oil filter, if you look down in there, there's almost like a valve. That was not on the aftermarket filter that I installed on this when I did an oil change. And I am getting that engine whine noise that you guys hear. So hopefully this fixes it. I'm pretty sure it will. Everybody on the forum says it will. So I'll go ahead and show you guys how to do an oil change while I'm doing this and see if it fixes that problem. You guys may need to jack up the front of your Titan or Armada if you have one of those. Otherwise, you can do it without jacking it up. Luckily, I have a 2-inch leveling kit on the front here, so it's a little bit easier to get underneath. Without further ado, let's go ahead and drain the oil and pull the filter. First, we're going to need to take off this little splash shield down here. Okay, we got the splash shield off. The camera wasn't on. We got 2 Allens right here, 2 Allens up here. Those are both 8mm. And then we got 2 10s in the back, and the whole splash shield comes out. If you look underneath here, you can locate our oil filter. That is what we believe is making the noise, the almost electrical pulley belt sounding kind of squeal noise that you can get. And our oil drain plug is right there. That is a 14mm, so we'll go ahead and crack that loose. And then make sure the crush washer fits, which is a little tight on mine. We'll just thread it on there, and that will work fine. I'm going to go ahead and lubricate our oil filter a little bit. I always try to fill this up as much as I can without it spilling out the side. If you rotate it like this, it lubricates all the paper in the filter and just kind of soaks in. As you can see, we can even add even more there, but honestly, it's probably enough. Wipe that off and install our new drain plug. And this goes to 25 foot-pounds. Now I was looking at our old and new oil filter. They're exactly the same height and width. So if you look in here, it's kind of hard to tell, but there's no valve like the Nissan one has. If there is a valve there, it's very difficult to see, or it's smaller. As you can see, there's something blue down there. I don't know if that is just the bottom, but this one protrudes a lot higher than this one for sure. But that could be the culprit in this one, since we are getting that noise. The reason I did an oil change last time is because I was actually getting the leak from this oil cooler. This metal piece, this is actually an oil cooler or an oil heater. It uses coolant to heat and cool the oil. So if you haven't already done that, I'd recommend doing that every other time you change your oil. It's about as tight as it's gonna get. And we have 6 quarts of oil going in this guy. Oh, and I'm using Pennzoil Full Synthetic. It's one of the cheapest full synthetic oils you can buy at Walmart or any auto parts store. Okay, now that we got that all done, we can go ahead and start it up and see how it sounds. Seems like we fixed our issue. Sounds a lot better in here, actually. Whenever I poured the old oil back into the container, it looked like it thinned out quite a bit. It was a little bit hot, but it looked pretty thin. And that was a synthetic blend oil. So maybe that was part of the issue as well. But it sounds really great with the full synthetic. So we go down here by the oil filter. No oil filter sound at all. So that seemed to fix the whining noise I was getting. This thing also runs a lot better with the full synthetic. If that helped you guys figure out your issue, make sure to give it a like and subscribe for more Titan content. And thank you guys for watching.